Okay, coming up on episode 171 of our Finding Better podcast, I am honored, I am thrilled to have Anil Gupta join me. Anil is, I describe him as the man at the top of the mountain that the whole world wants to go and talk to for his wisdom. He's helped people like Mike Tyson, Sir Richard Branson. He's even spoken to the Dalai Lama, and he's helped tens of thousands of people all around the world with figuring out how to live a better life. Life is so simple, and yet it's so hard. And the things you're going to learn from this conversation are going to just blow your mind because he gives us all wonderful things to think about and things we can do to make things better. Please share this. You're going to want to share this. Please subscribe. Here we go. Hello, and welcome back to our Finding Better podcast. My name is John Suzuki, and I am your host. And this is where we share real life experiences. We don't share opinions, academics. We don't share anything other than real life lived experiences and wisdom that have come through that. Because, sometimes the best path to success is to follow in the footsteps of others who have been there and done that. I am really happy to introduce you to my guest today. I've been looking forward to this conversation for quite a while. Anil Gupta, you might have heard his name. Anil is internationally known as the Love Doctor, and he helps folks create extraordinary relationships, whether it be in love, business, or personal fulfillment. He is a best-selling author, and he's a TEDx speaker who positively impacts very large audiences across 18 different countries. And he helps folks like you and me and Mike Tyson and Richard Branson, regular people, overcome their struggles and issues in relationships so they can live richer, fuller lives filled with love. This is the Finding Better podcast. I think everybody, all you folks out there can relate to this. He and his work have been featured on iHeartRadio, Fox News, Sky TV, Harvard University, and much more. And he's been invited by heads of state and spiritual leaders like the Dalai Lama to come and talk to them. Here's the thing. Anil overcame suicide in 2008. And he has since then formulated the happiness formula, the happiness test, the relationship score, and the relationship ratio. We're going to talk about all these things. He's held relationship and mindset workshops in over 18 countries, translated in 8 different languages, with audiences of over 10,000 people. He's a rock star. And I am so honored, Anil, to have you on Finding Better. Welcome to Finding Better podcast.
Hey, John, I don't know who you introduced, but he sounded like a great guy.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure he is a pretty great guy. Yeah, well, good.
I'll take it. I'll
Hey,
take his spot.
all right. You'll substitute for him. All
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
Well, listen, let's talk about what you do. My audience is here because they want to learn from you, and they want to learn about your experiences and what you've done. And I'll let you start anywhere you want to. But at some point in time, I want to talk, one of the beginnings of your story with regards to your suicide experience. And by the way, folks, just a warning that we are going to talk about suicide, okay? But we're going to talk about it in as positive a way as we can. All right, Anil.
So, John, if you come home late at night and the house is completely dark, the first thing you would do is you would turn on the light, correct?
You would think so, yes.
I think so. That's a normal thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't go in and try and remove the darkness, would you?
No.
That would be crazy, and
Right.
it would be never successful. But John, this is what people do in life. They try and remove their negativity. All they have to do is to be the light. When you are the light, the darkness disappears, the negativity disappears. Focus on your greatness. Focus on the 3 things that will make a difference to your life: giving, Give your time, your energy, your love, your commitment, your joy, your gift, your money. Give it away, not wanting anything in return. Two, be grateful for what you have. Now you can see I've got a broken wrist here. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
It fractured in a number of places. I was upset for 10 seconds and then I was grateful. Do you know why?
No.
It was my left hand. I'm right-handed. I,
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
yeah. I think there was another reason. I just bought this new pickleball paddle. It was like $250. I wouldn't let go of it. So it sort
So
of
did you,
protected
so
me.
you did you injured yourself playing pickleball.
Yeah, yeah. It with pickleball, it's not when, it's not if, it's when.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true. Especially when you get to our age.
yeah, really. 35, it's you're getting on a bit. So yeah, that's what people do. Just be the light, be the greatness inside of you.
I
Be
love that
so
analogy.
amazing you cannot be ignored.
I love that. I love that. I think I missed the third one. You said give gratitude and
And the third one is grow. You've got to grow emotionally,
grow.
physically, spiritually, mentally, and financially. And if you do those three things, your life will completely change.
You know, that sounds so simple. I mean, but
It is
as
simple, but it's not easy.
exactly,
I know
exactly.
how to
So
lose weight. It's
right?
simple. It's simple, but it ain't easy.
That's right. We know how to become professional athletes, right? We know how to become anything in the world.
Yeah.
It's simple, but it's not easy. So, um, let's talk about what was it that happened to you that led you to the work that you're doing today in helping people and helping people like me, regular people, helping people like Richard Branson, talking to people like the Dalai Lama. Tell us about your journey.
So, John, everyone's a regular person,
You bet it. You bet they are.
really.
And they're everyone's a rock star.
Yeah. So I don't differentiate, according to who you are. I differentiate in who you're being, which is a big difference. If you're being love, you're being generous, you're being playful, you're being kind, I want to spend time with you. I don't care how much money you have, what stuff you have, it doesn't bother me. And that's one of the things we have to focus on. Who you spend time with is who you become. Choose your friends wisely. Spend time with A-list players, B-plus players. Keep away from C players who drag you down. So 2008, I was suicidal. I lost everything in the stock market, real estate, and I had to tell my wife. She was going to eventually know. And she
Right?
said, I said, honey, I've done something really stupid. I've lost everything in the stock market, real estate, the house, the cars,
Oh
the
my gosh.
school fees. And John, she looked up at me and smiled. And I thought, what's wrong with you? Did you not hear what I said? She said, honey, I knew something was wrong. I heard what you said. I thought it was something serious. And I looked at her, I was completely confused. What are you talking about? There's nothing more serious than this. She said, Anil, I thought you had cancer. I thought you were dying.
Right.
I don't care about the money as long as we are together and we'll sleep in the streets if we have to. John, that was like rocket fuel for me because the huge weight off came off my shoulders because I no longer felt a failure. I no longer felt that I was going to be judged. I never felt so peaceful. It was a beautiful moment. And when you have a partner like that, anything is possible.
And you also felt probably instant gratitude at that moment.
Yeah, I was grateful. I was focusing on what I hadn't got. And she said, honey, you made one big mistake. I said, what's that? What is that? She said, you still have us. And I thought, holy moly, that's huge. But
Yeah.
I wasn't deserving of them. I thought, oh, how could I possibly deserve them?
Right. So what did you so what'd you do?
So she asked me a question, honey, what do you love to do? I said, well, I love to coach. She said, well, go and coach. So what about the money? She said, don't worry about the money. Just do what you love to do. And a friend of mine said, Anil, why don't you do events? You've helped me, you helped my wife. Why don't you do a seminar? I said, well, I'm not sure. He said, what are you not sure about? I said, well, Louis, what if no one turns up? And he said, well, if no one turns up, no one will know. And I thought, okay, I can do that. I was so concerned what other people were thinking of me.
Yeah. If no
Really,
one shows up, no one will know. Folks, remember that.
really, yeah. I was so concerned what other people thought of me. So
Yes. And
my
that
first event, 5 people, 8 people, 10, 20, 100, 500, 10,000. So you've got to start. The beginner, the expert in anything was once a beginner.
this is true. This is true. And but it's taken that first step,
You
right?
got to you got to
So,
step on the field.
okay. So was it that moment where your friend said, if nobody shows up, nobody will know? Is that what was that the thing, that straw that broke the camel's back, if you will, that enabled you to take that first really hard step?
It was, and then I wasn't sure how to do it, so I paid someone to really facilitate the event because I didn't have any structure. I had a gift, but I had no structure on how to run an event, what to say, when to say it, all that stuff. And then, he ran it for me, and my wife said, "Honey, they're not here for him; they're here for you." But he's got the structure. He's got this. I said, "Yeah, but honey, that's not what they want." And I thought, really? So I thought it might be a good time to listen to my wife.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's wonderful.
It just
It's
escalated from there.
that's wonderful. Uh it's really interesting. You strike me as being a humble man. And, a lot of times the trouble with humble people is they don't know, they either don't know or they haven't thought of what makes them great. Yeah, I'm not great. Nobody's, and it takes other people who know you to come and tell you, there's a whole lot more about you than than you're thinking right now.
Yeah,
And apparently your wife did that for you.
yeah, and actually, 7 years earlier, Tony Robbins said to me, "Neil, you should be coaching. I've seen the work that you do." He saw a greatness in me that I didn't see in myself.
Hmm.
So often that's the case. Other people see your greatness way before you do. And
Right.
all you have to do is ask the people around you, "Hey, what's my greatness? What am I good at? What should I be doing?" And they'll tell you. You just have to listen.
You know, what an amazing, I have never heard that before. I always talk about how every one of us has a superpower, but I've never heard anybody articulate it so simply. If you want to know what your superpower is, go ask people who know you,
Yeah,
and maybe they can give you some clues, right?
yeah, absolutely.
I had a very, very dear friend. His name is Aman Bhutani. And he once told me in a meeting I was having with him, he goes, John, you know what your superpower is? I said, no. What is it? He says, you say the things no one else wants to say. And you ask the questions nobody else wants to ask. And it took me a couple of months of thinking about that. I'm like, what kind of superpower is that? You know, but then I kind of realized, yeah, well, yeah, to a certain extent. And so when you say, you know, ask, ask folks, what are you good at? Of course, when I ask my friends that, and I will ask them that, they're going to look at me like, "What do you mean? What are you good at? Why are you asking me that? That's a weird question." But I want to know. That is
Yeah,
very cool.
yeah.
So what? So you started off. You launched into doing seminars that went from 5 people to 10,000 people. Um, are you doing the same? Is the content that you offered back then the same thing that you're offering today?
No, it's entirely different because, we grow up, we get new distinctions,
Sure.
we learn, we modify, we get downloads. So the fundamentals are there. The universal truths are there, but then we refine and define and discover and invent. So it's and the secret is when you're coaching other people, I disappear, then I look for how can I serve? What is it that the client needs right now? And then the answers come. Basically you have to ask yourself what's in the best interest of the client right now. So if you
Right.
ask better quality questions, you'll get better quality answers.
Yes. Right. So let's talk about happiness. Let's talk about for my audience, everybody, at least I think most people, I think, want to be happy. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so John, imagine you you're on a plane and you want to get to New York,
Hmm.
okay? And then the plane doesn't go there. But you want to get to New York. You want to get to New York, but it never goes there. This is what people are doing with happiness. They're seeking happiness, but that's not what they're wanting. See, happiness is external and it's temporary. What they are really wanting is this. They're seeking a feeling of fulfillment, which is inside.
Okay.
I can give you $1 million and I won't. And you can feel happy, but you're not fulfilled. But if I teach you and your community how to, you know, help 1 million other people, you guys will be fulfilled. So that's where the formula comes in. If you do the 3 Gs, you'll be filled from the inside out.
Okay. Let's talk about the 3 Gs. Let's
Okay?
talk about giving. When people think about giving, a lot of people, that there used to be a time in my life when I was thinking about giving, I don't have money. I can't afford it. I can't afford to give money. And so people have different definitions or perceptions of what giving is. What is giving to you?
Giving is where you can alter the state of another human being. A smile, a thank you, an acknowledgement, an edification, a few nice words, an affirmation, a gift, a food, or something. And in that moment, they feel something which is so beautiful and it's authentic.
A smile.
Yeah. We never know what other people are going through. They may be on the verge of suicide. They may be thinking no one loves me. And you just smile at someone and it could make the difference and makes the difference.
And you may never know. You probably
We may
will
never
never
know.
know, right?
We never know. We never know.
Right. And so what do you how do you coach people when it comes to giving? Because a lot of folks, including me, would say, okay, so what's the mindset I need to have?
Okay. So the mindset is awareness. You need to be aware. And I would say, hey, perform 5 random acts of kindness today
Mhm.
and perform 5 tomorrow. And it's a muscle. Then I want you to observe acts of kindness so that not only are you performing an act of kindness, but you're observing other people's acts of kindness. So beautiful things happen when you perform an act of kindness. You receive endorphins. The person receiving the act of kindness receives endorphins. The person observing the act of kindness receives endorphins. The person sharing the act of kindness receives endorphins. The person receiving the sharing of the act of kindness receives endorphins, and it continues. It's
Wow.
it's immense. So it's a muscle. You just have to practice it. I can, do 10, 15 acts of kindness in 20 minutes, or
Hmm.
maybe a little bit longer. And it could be simple things. A thank you, opening the door for someone, acknowledge someone. I have a 3 foot rule. Anyone who comes within 3 feet of me, I try and say something nice to them. Hey, I love your handbag. I love your shoes. Hey, I love your jacket or your handbag, whatever
Wow.
it is. And
Wow.
and the best place is in an elevator because they can't run.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They have to deal with it.
They're
They
all
have to
looking
de
around.
they have to deal with your kindness. Yeah.
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 Then I say to them, hey, you're all probably wondering why I called you in for this meeting. And today we're going to talk about why people don't talk in elevators. And yeah, people start opening up and say, oh, yeah, yeah, that's funny. But we've lost that knack of communication because
We
we're on the
have.
phones. It's sad.
Well, I have found, it's amazing too. You speak about endorphins. It's amazing. I don't walk down the street looking like a smiling lunatic. At least I don't think I do. But when I'm walking and someone comes across my path and I catch their, we connect with our eyes, I just kind of smile. And almost 100% of the time, they'll smile back, right? And yet we've lost that. We've lost that. I think maybe fear of the person coming back and say, "What are you smiling at?" Right? We have this fear, and so I guess my thing is that when you say, and I love your analogy of it's a muscle. It's a muscle. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it, the more comfortable you're going to get at it, and the more you're going to do it.
Yeah, and it's just
Right?
effortless, effortless.
Yeah, and I love the 3 foot rule, and we have to get back to that. We have to get back to that, and the world that we're living in right now, it needs us to bring more love back into it.
Yeah.
It really does. Let's talk about gratitude. Now, just to start this, my daughter, who is a beautiful woman, she's given us 3 grandsons. Um,
Good.
she's just she her superpower is love. And but she's got an eating disorder. And what a lot of people don't know is when you get an eating disorder, that's a lifelong affliction. And she has a form of bulimia. She has done a mighty job of controlling it. I mean, I'm so proud of her. But I remember one time as she was going through it and she was recovering, going through the recovery process. She I was having a conversation and she says, and I said, gratitude is a really, really powerful emotion, and to be grateful for what you have. And I will never forget what she told me at the time. She says, "Dad, I can't." I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "I can't be grateful." I said, "Why not?" And she says, "Because I don't deserve to be grateful."
Wow.
Um, so my point to all this is that, again, simple, be grateful. But for in the case of my daughter, it was very, very hard. So how do you talk to people about gratitude?
Well, let's just talk about your daughter. So she had
Okay.
an issue about worthiness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's role play. Okay. You be your daughter and I'll be you. Okay. So,
Okay.
honey, I have $100 note here. How much is it worth?
$100.
Yeah. And if I say to the note, you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're ugly, you're a failure, you're not successful, you're pathetic, no one loves you, how much is it worth?
It's worth $100.
It is, isn't it? So it
Yeah.
never loses its value. And honey, you brought so much value even before you were born. You brought so much value to my world, to our world. Did you know that?
No.
I mean, think when your first child was born, did he not bring joy 7, 8 months earlier?
Oh my gosh, 9 months earlier. The
Yeah,
moment I found out about him.
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even before you're born, you bring value to the world, and that value never dissipates. So this $100 note is actually worth more than $100. I can go to a store and buy $100 worth of goods. That same $100 can go somewhere else to buy another $100 worth of goods. That same $100 can go to another store and buy another $100 worth of goods. So it's priceless. Honey, Wherever you go, you bring value. Please never, ever forget that. You are worthy.
Wow. I love that. I love that. Thank you.
It's so
Thank you.
beautiful.
I'm going to share this with my
Share
daughter.
it with the
And
world.
and yeah, yeah. My goodness. Thank you. Okay. So so the gratitude part of it, and I'm sorry, uh, did I miss did we talk about the gratitude part of it in
Yeah.
that
No, no,
example?
no. Yeah, we were just about to. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the gratitude part of his formula.
Yeah. So, write down 5 things you're grateful for. I'm grateful for, it was my left hand. And then I realized the fingers make an important part. And then the other parts of the body, the skin. John, your heart has beaten over 2 billion times. 2 billion, non-stop. 4 chambers in perfect harmony and synchronicity. How often does the water pump in a refrigerator or a car or a washing machine go wrong?
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
billion. You're a billionaire. Livers. You've got 3 grandsons. Each of them beautifully perfect. Every single cell is perfect. These are things to be grateful for. Our skin, our eyes, our teeth. The air that we breathe, it's free. The chair, the pen, you know, the smallest of things.
I tell folks the toilet. I mean, imagine your life without the toilet. That's when you learn to be grateful.
Yeah, really. And there's another one. I'm grateful that I've got the toilet in my bedroom, not in the bedroom, in next to my bedroom, and I
Yeah.
don't use my son's toilet because the toilet in our bedroom has got um, a water thing underneath it. So
Okay.
I'm taking these pain medications, which makes you constipated. So the water helps me become unconstipated. But if went in my son's bedroom, it would have been a lot more painful. So they're small things, but they're big things.
They're
You
huge
go to a
things.
third world country and you see, the sewage system. It's not as pleasant. We
Yes.
can drink tap water. They can't.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's so hard. I mean, I love the examples that you used, right? Because people are like, wait, what? What? I should be grateful for that? Yeah, you know? Yeah, because gratitude is such a positive emotion. It really does lift you, you know? And and yeah, and it is just so powerful, so powerful. All right, so we talked about giving, we talked about gratitude. Let's talk about growing.
So just go back to gratitude. In the moment you're
Yes,
grateful, all the pain and suffering disappears. They cannot live together.
gratitude and pain and suffering cannot live together. Okay,
It's one or the other.
okay. I'm sure
So
everybody's thinking about this right now. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So in the moment you're grateful, there is no pain and suffering. But you're not going to stay grateful for an hour or 2 hours. It's
right.
gonna fade, and then the pain will come in. But it's that um, synchronicity and that I can't remember the word. It's flux.
Flux.
Yeah. Okay. But again, if you think of more things to be grateful for, pain and suffering will disappear. And the difference between pain and suffering is this: suffering is permanent, pain is temporary. So I know that this is going to get better, but if I knew that it wasn't going to get better, then I would suffer
Hmm.
because it's permanent.
Okay.
But a lot of people are suffering because they think life is always going to be this way, but I can assure them it's not. You just have to change your focus, change your vibrational energy, go serve, be grateful, and everything changes.
Talk about vibrational energy.
Okay, so there are two types of people on the planet: ones that make you happy when they enter a room, ones that make you happy when they leave a room. That that's that's vibrational energy.
Yeah. Okay.
Really,
Okay. Oh, that.
how simple can that be?
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And it's your choice. Do you want
Yeah,
do you want to be the person that makes people happier in the room or that makes people happy when you leave it? Yeah. That and vibrational energy both ways can change your life.
yeah, everything is vibrational. The table, the chair, the microphone is all vibrational. And by you thinking and being grateful and giving and growing, your vibrational frequency changes, which will attract more abundance in your life, more beautiful souls in your life, and it will add more years to your life and more life to your years.
So, switching to relationships,
Mhm.
I take it that these same principles apply.
With relationships, there are do you know the reason why it's really a 90% fail rate? Do you know why that is?
No.
Okay. So people say yes to a relationship until it becomes a no. They meet someone, they have a few drinks, and all of a sudden they're in a relationship, but they haven't done any due diligence on that person. They spend more time picking a house, picking a car, even picking a restaurant than they do in picking a relationship.
Really?
Yeah, think about it. People don't curate a relationship, they just fall into one. Oh, she looks good. He looks good. Oh, we talk about the same stuff. Oh, we have chemistry. No. When you buy a house, you do your due diligence. The
Hmm.
appraisal, the location, the financing, the neighbors, the school, assessments, everything. And before you sell your house, you have to clean it up, tidy it up, street appeal, paint it, decorate it, fix things. But people don't do that. So in order for you to have an ideal relationship, you have to work on yourself and then look for three criteria. There are three criteria you have to look for in a relationship. Number one, integrity. The person you're looking for must have integrity, and so should you. Number two, they have to be loving, not just to you, but to everybody. And number three, they have to be healthy, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, and financially. Now, when people date, they show up the best version of themselves. So they're trying to get to the next stage and the next stage and the next stage. So, but you're not seeing the true them.
Right.
So you have to collect the data. I call it ABCD. Always be collecting data to make an informed choice before you make a decision to be in a relationship or not.
You know, okay, we're going to break this down. At least I'd like to, because you said integrity, loving to everyone, and healthy in those four or five different areas.
Yeah.
What do you? Let's talk about integrity. Because that is a word that is used a whole lot less than I feel like it should,
It's
and
everything.
it's something that the world needs more of.
Yeah.
So, what do you mean by integrity?
Basically, integrity is being your word, doing what you say you're going to do and doing it, being on time, not gossiping, not complaining. It's huge. Not lying, not being dishonest, not selectively being quiet about something. To me, that's out of integrity. Tell the truth.
Yes. And why
Yeah.
is that so hard?
Because people are so fearful of rejection. They're so scared that people won't like them. And it's a muscle they haven't developed. I was brought up on integrity. I
Hmm.
remember I stole something from a store 45 years ago, no, 55 years ago. I went back to the store after 40 years, 35 years, and say, I'm so sorry, I stole this. I stole something from your store. Can I pay you back?
You said this 55 years later,
I think, yeah, 35 years later.
35 years
I,
later.
I went
And
to I went to a house at the end of our street that had a cherry tree. I said, I'm so sorry, I stole cherries from your tree. But it's a matter of cleaning up.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how can people, listening to this and going, okay, so I would like to live a life, the kind of life of integrity that Neil is talking about. What do you tell them?
Well, you have to start by looking at areas where you don't have integrity. Are you um, drinking too much? Are you smoking too much? Are you vaping too much? Are you doing things you shouldn't be doing? Cut them out. You know, you may not be able to do it straight away, but make a commitment. Are you healthy? And you say that you want to be healthy. Yeah. Are you a great father when you said that you're going to be a great father? Are you a great son when you said that you're going to be a great son? Are you loving your partner when you said that you would? It's going to be
There
a
go
shocker for a lot of people.
there goes that S word again, right? Simple. I mean, what
Yeah,
I just heard you say, Neil, is write down the things where you are out of integrity and commit to coming into integrity.
yeah,
And um, which is a phenomenal exercise of itself, irrespective of whether you actually do it, whether you do those things. Just like you said, that awareness part of it can change your life. It can change your life. And looking at the things and looking at a list that says these are the things that I've identified where I am out of integrity. And I can imagine looking at my list going, whoa. I mean, I've been holding it up here, but a lot of times it's not until you have it written down and you're looking at it that you go, wow, I'm a mess.
we all are. But it's okay to be that way, and then just commit. So you know what? That's the way I used to be. This is what I'm going to be. This is who I am. That's my identity. And then you'll notice things will start happening for you.
For you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let's talk about being loving to everybody.
So when people first date, they're loving to each other, they're loving to people around them. Then they get married, they have, time together. Then she doesn't do something for him, and he says, "Well, she didn't do that for me. I'm not going to do that for him." But then it becomes transactional. But a pure loving person would just be loving, but not in order to get something back, but just be in a state of love and generosity and kindness, not transactional, not manipulative.
Right. How do you get people there?
Again, it's just practice, 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 practice. Awareness. Awareness gives you clarity. Clarity gives you focus. Focus gives you action. Action gives you results. Results gives you momentum. Momentum gives you everything. But see, we're never held accountable. That's the problem. If you have someone holding you accountable and the best person is you, everything changes. I said I was going to do that. I didn't. Say, John, I'm so sorry. I'm a minute late on the podcast. Please forgive me. And people say, well, he's only a minute late. What's wrong with him? But I'm late. I said I would be there at 7. I was there at 7:01. It's my integrity.
Yep, that's true. That is true. Neil, if I was 1 minute late, I apologize. I
Yeah, you
tried.
were you were late, like an hour late.
No,
You
I
guys know.
wasn't. I was not.
And John, that's the other thing. You have to laugh at yourself. People take
Yeah,
everything so seriously. If you're not
that's
laughing
right.
at yourself, you're missing out.
That, oh
Really.
my God. Yeah. A lot of times I either, my choice is I either laugh at myself or cry. So I
That's what
choose to
kids
laugh.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Good. Muhammad Ali, uh, once I heard him on an interview one day, and he says, I do not like people who don't treat waiters and waitresses with kindness. You know this, right? And the interviewer said, why? He says, because if I wasn't Muhammad Ali, they'd be treating me that exact same way.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, that was really interestingly insightful to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's love everybody. Love everybody. That was kind of the thing that said, I mean, you may be rich, you may be famous, you may be something amazing, but you know what? Like you said, you're just you,
Yeah.
and
Ha-
there
ha-
and others are no less.
yeah. How many times do you thank the people who look after the toilets in restaurants or in
Right.
hotels? I do all the time. Say, hey, thank you for keeping this place clean. Who says that to them? It's
Yeah,
not a
very
nice
few
job.
people.
It's not a nice job.
Very few people. When I see them, I do the same thing. Interestingly, and maybe not interestingly, the most common time I see the guys in the bathroom is at the airport, and I always say thank you. I always say thank you. Um, and you know, a little appreciation can go a long way.
Yeah, and they feel better, you feel better. And
Yeah,
someone else observing say, "Oh, I've never thought of doing that."
yeah, yeah. All right. Finally, let's talk about healthy.
So it's emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, and financial.
Hmm.
So a lot of people have emotional issues. They don't feel they're good enough. They're not smart enough. They don't believe. They're not. Um, they don't belong. They don't feel worthy, lovable, smart. All of these stuff, and we have to teach our kids from a very
Yes.
young age. I can tell a child within 10 seconds how well they've been brought up. And I know you can too, John.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Um, how do you how do you fix people? Right? I mean, what do you do in terms of helping when you see people who you go, wow, I know exactly how that person was brought up, right? And you want to help them. What are the kinds of things you do?
So the biggest issue that people face is forgiveness.
Oh, yes. Okay, please go on.
So forgiveness is the express pathway to freedom. The quality of your life is dependent on the depth and authenticity of the forgiveness you extend to yourself and to others. People often complain about their parents, they complain about their spouses and this and this and this and this. But I say, look, whatever your dad did to you, There are two parts to your dad. What do you mean there are two parts to my dad? Yeah, there's two parts to him. One is his behavior, and two is your father, the seed, the human being that gave you life. You may not like the behavior, which I understand, but you can never stop loving that because he gave you life. He gave you your wife. He gave you your three kids. He gave you your grandkids. He gave you this. He gave you that. Because without him, none of this would have been existed. So why don't you love him? You don't have to love the behavior. And what do you know what your dad's been through?
Right. What
And what?
happens when you share that with people? That was
Tears.
my, yeah, yeah. That is beautiful. And I mean, um, none of us have had perfect dads. And God knows I haven't been a perfect dad. I mean, and I just hope and pray that I'll be forgiven by my kids at some point in time. And so, forgiveness, wow, what an I had a I have a very good friend who's also a pastor, and he was on my show and he said, forgiveness is a greater miracle than the parting of the Red Sea. And that's pretty powerful. But it is, and you said something just now as you were talking about forgiveness. You said forgiving others and forgiving yourself. Okay. Not very many people talk about the forgiving yourself thing. So can you talk about that for just a minute?
Yeah. So as human beings, we love to be right. We're very righteous. So we have this belief system, BS belief system that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't belong, I'm a failure. So then we beat ourselves up to confirm that we are that by being right. And we're told to, put your hand up whenever you want to speak. Then we're ridiculed at school, so we keep quiet. And we're told not to show off, so we keep low profiles. And that stops our greatness because, we want to tell the world about our greatness, but we've been told not to. So it's a big problem.
So how do you draw that out of people?
The only way is coaching. I've been through it, so I can pull them through. And on the other side of that is that not only will you love your parents, but you'll be grateful to them too. If you know that you are grateful to someone, you know you've forgiven them.
Interesting. If you know you are grateful for somebody, you know you've forgiven them. I'm going to have to ponder that.
Yeah,
My first response is, "Whoa, that's right."
yeah.
Okay. Anil, I could talk with you forever. This is, I mean, it, yeah, I can understand why so many people want to talk with you, right? Because you bring life down to such simple terms.
Yeah. And I
And
don't have my full faculties. Wait until I get my full faculties back.
well, when you get your full faculties back, I'd love to have you back on the Finding Better.
Yeah.
Um, Listen, uh, wrap us up.
So be the light. Be so amazing you cannot be ignored. And if you are ignored, it doesn't matter because how you show up will be this magnificent soul. Don't be concerned what other people think of you. What they think of you is none of your business. You're here for a reason. It's not about you, it's about the difference you make. Decide today how you're going to show up for the rest of your life.
Boy, you just had like 38 quotable quotes in
This is
that
my
last.
first podcast ever. So getting the hang of it now.
Neil, this is amazing. Your contact information and everything is in the show notes. But if people, what's the best way for people to reach you, learn about you, if they want to learn more?
So the best way is if you get on the web, it's meetanil.com. And I've written two bestsellers. One is called Immediate Happiness. The other one has just been released. It's called The Heart Map of Health. And just look at my content on my website. There's some great resources there that will move, touch, and inspire you.
Meet Anil, Meet Anil,
Yeah,
ANIL.com.
yeah,
And I'm going to pick up your books.
fantastic.
This has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation. And
We knew it would be.
yeah, well, I often tell people to rewind, and listen to the podcast again. This time I'm going to suggest folks rewind it over and over and over again and listen to this 3 or 4 times because I know I am. There's so much. I mean, I'm always happy when my audience can walk away with 1 or 2 takeaways. I mean, you've given us probably 3 or 4 dozen,
Yeah,
and my goodness, thank you for joining me. I would love to have you back. I'm serious, and
absolutely.
we could talk about so many more things. So, Anil, thanks again. I love you.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Everybody, share this, please. And because there's folks out there that need to hear what Anil has to say. Okay, so please share this. Please subscribe. I love you. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next time. Bye.